All right, what's going on, everyone? This is the kid, DC Wrestling, back out again with another video. Now, today, I originally wasn't going to make a video, but, watching last night's AEW Dynamite, by the way, if you haven't checked out my review, go check it out. But as I was watching the show throughout, one segment that really caught my eye, the segment that, a lot of people were talking about coming off the show was the Bobby Fish and Adam Cole interaction. And that got to me. That got to me wanting to make this video, not mainly particularly about Bobby Fish and Adam Cole, but obviously the man that you see in the thumbnail, the man you see in the video, Kyle O'Reilly. Now, I think anybody, who's kept up with the wrestling news, mainly particularly with Kyle O'Reilly, would know that his contract is set to expire this December. Not January, February, not next March, not next year, this December. And, with Kyle O'Reilly's contract expiring, and, once your contract expires, you're set to become a free agent, that leaves the door for someone like Kyle O'Reilly to, leave, WWE, mainly particularly NXT, and go to a whole new different company. He can go to a New Japan if he wanted to. He could sign with Impact, or he could very well sign with AEW. And that's pretty much the whole point of this video is, should Kyle O'Reilly, once his contract is expiring with the WWE, if Kyle O'Reilly decides not to resign, putting pen to paper with the WWE, NXT, main roster, all those shenanigans, does Kyle O'Reilly take his talents to Jacksonville? Does he take his talents to Tony Khan and etc.? Does Kyle O'Reilly become all elite with all elite wrestling? Many fans have been clamoring for it, man. Many fans, if you go on social media, if you go on these YouTube comments, everywhere, people talks about how Kyle O'Reilly needs to once his contract expires, he needs to basically get out of NXT and he needs to go to AEW. He needs to sign with AEW. People have been bringing in, different scenarios. People were saying how he could come into AEW. He could reform Red Dragon with, Bobby Fish, because Red Dragon was a team long before they came to NXT when they were in Ring of Honor. Even had some cool, great matches with the Bucks, or he could come in and be a singles competitor or something like that. But obviously, the most obvious choice, if he was to come to AEW, would obviously be reforming Red Dragon. And then, of course, Adam Cole, having to pick a side between, the elite or, reform the Undisputed Era in All Elite Wrestling. Now, this is my personal stance. This is what I think is going to happen to Kyle O'Reilly. It's kind of crazy because Kyle O'Reilly's kind of in the same position Cole was in, because Cole's contract was expiring and he had that choice of either he was to re-sign and potentially go to the main roster or go to AEW. And as we saw Adam Cole, like I pretty much predicted, he left NXT, didn't go to the main roster, signed with AEW, and, now he's with the elite. Now he's with his friends. He's with his girl. But in my personal opinion, and of course, everyone else is, has their own opinion and you're entitled to it, I personally do think, and I agree with the majority, that Kyle O'Reilly will leave NXT. I do believe that he's gonna let his contract expire. This is what I think is gonna happen to him. As his NXT is running out. As of right now, he's in the team with Von Wagner. Who knows? Maybe Von might decide to be like, F it, I'm just going to turn on Kyle O'Reilly. He turns heel. They enter a little program. O'Reilly puts him over. And O'Reilly puts Wagner over. And he leaves. And he leaves NXT. Or, I don't know, something happens. But something happens to the point where he just gets written off NXT. So that's what I think is going to happen to O'Reilly. O'Reilly doesn't really fit NXT 2.0. He doesn't, his style, the way he brings things to the table, it just doesn't fit with the major format that is NXT 2.0. NXT 2.0 is all about creating new people, creating new stars and characters and stuff like that. And O'Reilly just don't fit that mold. And you could see also as well with the NXT 2.0, they're kind of trying to push out these old guys and bring in these new guys like Braun Beaker, Tony D'Angelo, Joey Gacy, Holland, Carmelo Hayes, etc. Toxic Attraction. So it's like O'Reilly just doesn't fit that mold. I mean, if Adam Cole decided to come to NXT 2.0, he most likely, surely wouldn't fit in that role either, because it's not just who they represent. And let's be real, O'Reilly on the main roster, especially with this cool Kyle gimmick, also wasn't going to do him any favors. And I just don't think it is going to do him any favors. I look at the whole Undisputed Era as a whole. Maybe the only one who probably had that potential would probably be someone like an Adam Cole on the main roster. But, it's just that, I don't know, man, because if O'Reilly was to decide, you know what, I'll resign, but I'll go to the main roster, the dude will probably be in the mid-card position. And I know people want to see him in that main event scene, but, he'll probably just end up being in the mid-card division, or I don't know. But he really won't fit there. So, yes, I do believe, again, with the majority, that he's going to leave NXT when his contract expires, and he's going to eventually pack his bags and go to AEW. Now, I know I said this, many times before. AEW has a stacked roster. Yes, they do. Do they really need someone like a Kyle O'Reilly? Not really. But let's be real. Kyle O'Reilly, you just let him go to AEW, let him be with his friends, let him reform Red Dragon, and let them do their stink over there. So yeah, man, that's kind of what I'm feeling at, and that's kind of where I feel like things are going. Now if Kyle O'Reilly does decide he's gonna stay, he's gonna resign, good for him. Dude's talented, really cool. But yeah, I just something just tells me with the way things are going, and you know how these boys, they be behind closed door in talks, behind the phone. So it just wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't go to if he does, go to AEW. But who knows? Wrestling is so unpredictable nowadays, and then predictable at times. Anything could happen in the land of wrestling. So, anyways, that's the video, guys. I apologize for being this long, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe to the channel. This has been the Kid, DC Wrestling. And so, also, I will be doing my Friday Night SmackDown review this Friday night. Plus, of course, this Saturday, we got Full Gear. I'm going to try to go live on Full Gear. So, immediately after the show's over. So, be on the lookout for that. But anyways, this has been the Kid, DC Wrestling. And so, yeah.